Yeah, I know. No one can see. I messed around and uh, didn't undo my camera. Been in a hurry, working on homework, and it's like right there. I I was just this close to having an assignment done, and I was busting my butt on it trying to finish it before I had to start, but I didn't. How's everybody doing? How you doing, Sizzle? How you doing, Leisure? Hope y'all are doing well. Let's see, top chat, live chat. Okay. Um, let's see. This week, I know I say it every week. Every week's busy, right? So I actually did stuff in the garage this week. Ta-da! That's what this is supposed to be about. On, I guess it was Tuesday, my neighbor called and said, "Hey, are you busy?" And I always hate answering him. He his he's got a Chevy pickup that's rotted out, just rusty as heck, and his he was hauling a load of dirt on a dump trailer, and his hitch was about to come apart, and he had the bolt on. I guess it might have been a stock hitch, but the bolt on deal, but it was rusted through in so many places. I don't know how it didn't come apart. And he come over. He wanted me to help him put a new one on. And of course, it wasn't just a bolt on deal. And of course, the rust made it real fun. So I spent the evening with it. But I'm going to get a free, or I'll get my grass mowed one more time and got $50 out of the deal. So, you know, that's good. How you doing, Baldy? Good to see you in here. Rob, how you doing? Great to see you. Uh, we actually got a few people in here decent time today. Um, so that was fun. The Some of the nuts on top of that thing were like they were rusted away. So the nut would normally be about as big around as a bottle cap, but it'd been rusted away till it was about two sizes smaller and wasn't even a size. Two of them I was able to use vice grips on, not vice grips, eagle grips. I was able to use eagle grips on, and one of them. See, how you doing, Pete? See, one of them didn't want to come off that easy, but they all come out without me having to get the torch out. They all come out without me having to get a torch out. Now going back in was another story because he bought a universal fit and I had to drill holes. So there is that. Uh, see, doing great. Did an oil change on Mama's buggy today. That's good. Um, like I said, how you doing, Pete? Lisa, the factory hitches bolt to the rear bumper and the frame. Correct. Yeah, it bolted two bolts up to the bumper. Those were a little aggravating to get to because the socket that fits in there was perfectly the size of the hole that went down into inside the bumper. But yeah, you're right. It bolted three places on the frame, and 2 places on the bumper. The new one only bolts on the frame, 3 paces on either side. The new one only bolts on the frame 2 places on either side. So, and so I put it on there. The way I did it, I put it on there. It was the back 2 bolts that were going to have to be drilled for the front 2. So I put the front 2 in, and it barely cleared, but I pushed them all the way forward, tightened them down, drilled this side, put a bolt in it, went to drill the other side where I got out, and it was looking at stuff, and it was crooked. uh, Getting me a little. Oh, I'd already got one. Shoot, I'm so. Let's see, Baldy doing pretty good. I mean, well, I can't see. Doing pretty good. I mean, getting destroyed by circuits and heat transfer homework. On the plus side, I get to use our new car hauler for the first time this week. Awesome. Keep it up. I understand my classes. I did a bonehead move last week. I finished an assignment, and I was waiting. So it's in this program, and usually it comes up with more prompts and lets me check stuff, and it wasn't coming up. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to leave it alone for now, leave it as a draft, and I'll come back to it and see if when I open it up again, it'll give me that next prompt that I'm looking for, which was a prompt that checked for, it just checked to see if your content was like anything else. And, well, I went and did all my other homework, and I never come back to it and submitted it. That was a 50-point assignment that I got a 0 on. So there's that. And all I had to do was hit submit. Tonight, I don't know when the last time, it ain't been long. Barrel Bourbon New Year for 2018. It's 111.2 proof. Wouldn't suspect a Southern truck to be rusted. Well, so I'm in Northern Kentucky, and it was a cheap truck. I think he got it from Indiana. I'm not 100% sure, but in the area I live in, there ends up being a lot of rusty stuff. I'm probably at the bottom of the rust belt, but we get a lot of stuff, and the people buy it because it's cheap, because it's rusted in two. My ex-boss, he kept going and looking at dump trucks up in Indiana, and they'd have rust scale that thick on the engine block. And I'm like, it's cheap, and it may run forever, or the block may just rust a hole into it, 2 months down the line. It's in the beds. Oh man, the beds. I couldn't trust them. He finally stopped asking me to go with him to go check them out, because I didn't like none of it. I'd see that rust on it, and I'd be like, no, the price isn't good enough for me. I wouldn't buy it. But that's the way it is. Cheers. I got another project, a thing to do that I did this week to talk about, but I told y'all last week I was getting this, and it come in. So let's look at it. It's the Wera, what is it called? Tool Check Modular Imperial. So I saw it and I'm like, okay, this is cool. It's smaller than the normal tool check. So it's got your 9/16, half inch, 7/16, I think, and 3/8. Yeah. But what I liked about it, well, let's open this up. So these are longer bits, and the ones in back are short bits. So longer ones, and then these are shorter ones. And then this is the cool thing about it. Instead of a full little ratchet like the other tool check has, it's a little bitty ratchet that you throw in the screwdriver handle. So it's pretty cool. Action ain't too bad. It's pretty nice. I really like it. But I like Wera has some good stuff. Let's see. I'm looking for a link for you. Here you go. I got so many tabs open because I've still got homework up here. So that's the link for you to that one. It's a good little kit. Yeah. See, set spec. It's an SAE kit. Yeah, that's what I liked about it. Because on the Harley, for some reason now, it used to be most of it was SAE. It's a mix of SAE and metric. Crazy, right? I was thinking of getting Wera toolkit, but it's missing sizes. Yeah, so I'm going to look at this and see what I need and see if that covers it. And if it doesn't, I'll just if I need all of these plus something, I'll just throw it in my tool bag with it. But I am going to change out some of these bits because I know I need a T27, and this doesn't come with one. It comes with a 25, but not a 27. What else we got? Oh yeah, let's see the metric kit. I was thinking of getting a Wera toolkit, but it's missing sizes. It's also a metric set. Yeah, I've got a bigger metric set. I don't know where it's at. It might be in here, but it's probably out in the garage. And it's great. And by the way, how you doing, Walter? Good to see you in here. Anyone else I haven't said hey to? Pete, I think I said hey to you, but how you doing? It's good to have you in here, man. Let me look in this. Look here just a second. Wow, there it is. Here's my old one. The metric. This is the metric one. And it's got a full little ratchet. And it's got a locking bit holder or a bit extension. And it's a lot fuller kit. Let's see. That pops out. You see all the bits. Now all of these bits are regular size. or you know, a small bit. And it goes from 5.5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 13. But it's just bigger. So in comparison, I just, this is the comparison, roughly. This one is just a little bit taller, and it is roughly the same width. But combine that with these, there's actually, I can buy an adapter where this holds these, but it's $20 and it's not worth it to me. Let's see. This thing is also metric kit. Yeah, crafty little kit. I agree. I've only seen reviews of the metric kit. Yeah, pliers look great for a first look from this week's vid. Thank you, Rob. I really like them. I mean, look, they're cheap, and I'm not a big fan of Work Pro. Um, but these seem very well made. And when I put force on that, I was putting a lot of force on them. I get it that, you know, how much force you're going to be able to put on these little bitty handles, but I was really digging in to try to get it to turn that bolt. And it didn't do it turned inside the vise. It didn't turn on the head there. Let's see. I hate when they mix SE with metric. Yeah, it sucks. Um, it's not good. That's for sure. Uh, I'm doing good, Pete. Is there a 10 millimeter socket? Yeah. I don't know if that is in reference to the to Sizzle Neck's little short that I commented on earlier today. But yeah, there's a 10 millimeter there, and I haven't lost it. I think there it is. Can you believe it? Another thing I like about them, I'm not going to learn the color codes, but I like it. Just looks good to me. The knurling on it, like I said, I like Wera's or Vera's stuff and have for a while. Let's see. Okay, cool. I thought I skipped it. Not on the bigger one. I have no idea about the smaller one, but I'm willing to bet 10 is such a common fastener that they won't skip it on the small set either. What else I got to show y'all? So I got me some. This is 3/8, and I bought these through the JB Tools clearance. Ended up buying some high vis 1/2 inch, and I've got a short form video I'm working on to do it. I should have made it long. I should have done it wide instead of short and then cut it up for a short video, but I didn't. Um, I'm gonna look and see if I can't transform it and then cut it up real good for a short video to keep it flowing good. Cause it's just a little under 3 minutes long after I cut it up a little bit. And but I took my 1/2 inch drive drawer in my box that I work out of, and I had the blow molded case for all of my metric Sunex. And I took that out and used use those socket bosses, and it I have a whole lot more space now. So that video will be coming out within the week. I've got shorts for enough shorts to cover 3 more days. So it should come with two 10 millimeter sockets. Well, yeah, not many are doing that. So I asked this question on Leezers. We make fun of it. We're always talking about the 10 millimeter and losing it and everything. And I made a joke, made a post about, should I use this little 10 millimeter ratcheting wrench for my keychain, you know, because it gets lost. But in all reality, do y'all lose any sockets on a regular basis, especially a 10 millimeter? I mean, I don't. And when I commented on that, I just knew I jinxed myself, and it don't matter now. I've already jinxed myself. So if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. The heist at the Louvre, I have not heard about that. What did they get? Or is this a dad joke? I won't stop looking until I find the missing tool. So for me, my toolbox is pretty organized. So if I don't have something, I'm looking for it, and I will go off. I'll I'll get sidetracked for hours looking for it. And usually it's somewhere like I'm working on my wife's she shed. So it'll something to be in there. And I'll be looking for it forever in my uh, garage and won't remember it's out there. I'll come in here and look a million times. I've still one thing that I couldn't find that I've been looking for is my man, what is it called? It's the little saw, except the blades comes out like this, and comes out the front of it and just vibrates. I forget what it's called, but anyway, Pink Panther strikes for the umpteenth time. Having rails in full sets, I don't lose them awesome. When I do, it's gone somewhere, and I'm not willing to dig it out. When you drop it down inside something in a car and it doesn't fall out to the bottom, that's the probably the main one where you're like, well, crap, it's gone. Unless it's in the engine, or you think it's in the engine, and then you tear the engine apart, and guess what? You find it down below it or something after you tear the engine apart, or at least get the oil pan out. But if you do that, if you think you dropped something in the engine and you take the oil pan off and it's not in there, then of course if you dropped it in the intake, you wouldn't take the oil pan off. You look inside the runners and the head, but still, it's an oscillating tool. Yeah. See, I lost one 10 millimeter socket so far. Thought I lost another one day, and never looked in a tool bag where it was one day. Yeah, so my three position snap on needle nose pliers, I lost them for months, and I forget they were somewhere on something I'd been working on, and they'd rusted up a little bit and everything. And that drove me crazy. Like I looked for it for a long time before I eventually gave up. And then one day I'm cleaning up, moving some stuff around, and there it is, exactly where I left it. And here's the deal: when I put it there, I hung it, I slid it in this hole, like that way I'll know where it's at. Yeah, I lost it. uh, but that's the way it works. That's the way life goes. Babe, let me put this up. So, anybody else had problems losing their 10 millimeters? Uh, so, next project I did this week. My son-in-law has a 1 year newer Elantra. He had a bearing go bad on one side or other for the front wheels, and in the spindle, or is it called a spindle, in the hub. So he didn't have anything to pull it apart, and he took it. He let a guy take it to his shop to press it out, and I guess their press was bad or something. I think he got it there and realized how much of a pain in the butt it was going to be to press. Because yeah, it was a weird shape and everything. So he brought it to me. We spent a few hours working on it, and we eventually got it pressed out, put the other one back in, pressed it in. Um, but afterwards, after I'd built up all kind of little things to make everything easy, even on my press, and then to get the right socket and everything, I was thinking I've got a bearing puller, the kind that it's a clamshell. You clamp it around, in between the bearing and whatever. And I've got a big one, and it would have been perfect. What was the problem is there was a heat shield. The let's call it the spindle or the hub that you put your wheel on. It's up against the arm, what everything attaches to. I don't know the terminology. I'm sorry. And there was very little space in there, and the heat shield was bolted to it. You couldn't get in there and take the bolt off, but there was just a bit of a crack somewhere in there. I forget where it was at. And if I would have thought about it, I could have used that bearing puller, clamped it around it. I wouldn't have been able to pull that spindle out or hub, but I was still would have given me something so that I could put two blocks or something on my bottom of my press to raise it up off of it so that it'd be easier to press out. As it was, I took a vise, widened it as far as it would go, and it barely fit, and then did it. But I am going to make me a few fixtures for my press. After having that issue, I've got a few fixtures in mind that I'm going to make. A few pieces of like an H beam without the middle, or maybe make a box with ends but no bottom. Just a few little things like that. Luckily, I've got tons of little pieces of scrap metal, bar stock, all kind of stuff. See. I've lost some tools before, and it's still on my mind. Plus, I miss them. So I try not to lose my tools anymore. I understand. And tools are expensive. Even cheap ones are expensive now. Lost 10 millimeters so far. Okay, I read that one. Ironically, my channel lock blow mold go bag has a 10 millimeter snap-on socket in it. I lost the original. I understand. I hate pressing wheel bearings. I agree. I hate uh non-greasable wheel bearings, ones that are not serviceable. I think that's, I mean, it's just they do last a pretty good while, but the other style lasts longer if you take care of them. Granted, you have to take care of them. They're not maintenance free, and if they won't go nowhere near as long without services them as a maintenance free wheel. Um, Now my Harley, I guess Harleys, some of these later models, people are talking about replacing their wheel bearings every time they change the tires, which is wow. Um, I understand the thought, the premise behind it, because you've only got two wheels instead of four. Wheel bearing goes out, locks tire up, you're messed up. But usually there's some signs your wheel bearings are going out, you know. So every time you change the oil, you should be jacking it up and turning the wheels to make sure you don't hear any funny noises, which the brakes rub on mine, and it's hard to, get you a stethoscope so you can hear the bearings. It's what I'll have to start doing. That's a hot bourbon. It's kind of good, but it's a little hot. Got some cherries. What kind of cherries? Candied cherries. The finish of it kind of tastes like that. Let's see. I made a simple fixture out of angle iron for those situations. And I've made a few different fixtures for different things. Like I've got a fixture for my drill press for drilling holes in pipe. So it's just a piece of angle iron turned up, the V up and braced on either side on a little bitty deal, on a little bitty piece of flat. And I put the pipe in there, drill it. Works great. And I've got a few things I've done like that. Uh, what else have we got? I know there's more. Oh, so I ordered this. Have I already showed it to y'all? I don't think I have. So I don't know if y'all know, or maybe if you've been with me since the beginning, you might realize I love to collect case knives. I haven't been buying a whole lot lately. Yeah, you should know because I've some of you've seen them. I used to have them behind me when I did it in my bedroom out there before I got this room set up. Um, but these are when they did the first run of them, the regular ones, they sold out like hotcakes. It's hard to find them now, and that would be the regular peanut butter jelly ones. So they call it peanut butter jelly because of the dye on the bone. But this is a Christmas version, and it's got, I think that's a piece of toast there on the end here, and that's a peanut. Oh, okay. It's a jar of jelly. This one on this end's a jar of jelly, and that's your peanut right there. And then it's case, and I think it says the bell says Merry Christmas. Merry case something. I don't know. I cannot tell what it says. Time to get the phone out. Merry Christmas on the top and bottom, and then case 2025. So yeah, yeah, I love the colors on it. This would have not been my choice for a Christmas knife. I like to collect the magician's knives for Christmas. And I don't know why, I mean, they call it a magician knife because it's one color on one side, one color on the other side. And you can do some sleight of hands and act like you made it change colors or whatever. And it's green on one side, red on the other. And I've got a few of them. I think I got 3 different patterns. And I think they've all been purchased by my wife for me for Christmas. She didn't get me one last year. They do a different knife pattern every year. In other words, like this pattern I just showed you is a trapper. So, and I think the knife pattern of the year is a copper lock. I think it's a small copper lock, it ain't a mini copper lock. But I think that's the vault. They call it the vault pattern. And what they'll do is those certain patterns, after they run it for that year, they'll put that pattern back in the vault and won't run it again for X amount of time. And they do a new one every year. So for me, I'm like January, I'm patiently waiting and hoping this next pattern to be something super old, that they're bringing back, like the Jacks. They had a bunch of knives, different patterns that were called something Jack. And I'd like to see a lot of those brought back. Okay, I didn't realize I'd done videos about them, but I know I've did some stuff. What I want to start doing again is taking pictures of them and posting them on Instagram, and that's my inventory, sort of. So it kills 2 birds with one stone. But I'm so far behind, it would take me forever to do it. It would be a chore. It's something I'd have to dedicate a day to or something like that. Just taking a picture of them. Uh, see, I'll show y'all one other thing. So about a week ago, no, been 2 weeks now. Yeah, it was late week before last. We got a thing in the mail said a package couldn't be delivered. That I had to go pick it up. Wife was going on a trip. She went down to Key West, and she wasn't going to be able to go pick it up. We thought, we thought it might be, something for me that I wasn't supposed to see, but we were kind of hoping that it was packaged in a way so I wouldn't find out. It was a Christmas present. Wouldn't find out what it was. It was packaged in such a way, the packaging on the outside told me exactly what it was. So the wife told me, Merry Christmas. Go ahead and open it up. I went looking for something to put my shot glasses in. So this is one of my Christmas presents that I got early. I just got to hang it on the wall now. Uh, so anybody had anything interesting this week? As far as the case, I think I'm gonna fill it. I might not fill it up, but it's gonna come pretty close. And so I've got a curio in the kitchen, and it's full of special beer glasses, different ones from different places in Belgium and different cups I've gotten from bars and stuff throughout my journeys. It's got tons of shot glasses in it. And I'm going to eventually get everything out of there and do something with that curio because it's kind of taking up room in the kitchen that we'd rather use for something else. Don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's a it's a real nice. It's actually a china cabinet. It's a big, heavy wooden china cabinet. It's oak. I bought it when I lived in Belgium. It was regularly priced. It was regularly priced either $1,000 or $750, and one of the panes, glass panes, had been busted out of it, and I offered them. I lowballed them big time. They'd already marked it down, and it hadn't been moved. And I think they marked it down 50%, and no one had bought it. And I think I offered them 25% for it, whatever that ended up working out to be. And they took it, and I took it home. And that was in 2006 or something like that. Had it ever since. But it's it's just a big, heavy piece of furniture, and I never want to move it again. And I've moved that thing one, two, three. I've only moved it three times. That's surprising. Belgium to Tennessee, Tennessee to Texas, Texas to here. So, of course, I don't plan on moving again, but you never know. Uh, I appreciate that, Lisa. I do have one more thing, and I don't know. So, if you remember back in the 2000s, motorcycle stuff was super popular. They had the biker build offs and all that stuff. Well, Indian Larry become a real famous, one of the more famous guys in that. So if you like that stuff, you knew about Indian Larry. And there's some photographs that are kind of popular or video scenes that are pretty popular, that were done of him. And this is one of them of a guy. I learned of him through a magazine I read. His name was George the Painter, and he wrote articles for the Horse Backstreet Choppers. It's a defunct magazine, but I loved it. I have about 80% of the issues, and the only reason I don't have the others because I just didn't start reading it till maybe a year after it started, maybe a year and a half after it started. So I started reading his articles, but he did paintings and biker culture paintings and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Well, week before last, he advertised. He lives in West Virginia. He he lives off of what he makes on his paintings and whatever else he can scrape by. And he lives in a pretty rough little place in West Virginia, but he's out kind of off grid. So he posted a couple weeks ago that he needed some money and he was letting these paintings go at a reduced price. And I bought this one from him. There was another one I wanted more, but it got sold. I didn't catch it in time. And so this is the one I bought from him. It's on a skateboard deck. Um, it's pretty cool. It'll go up in my man cave. It's probably the first painting I've ever bought. Probably won't buy many more. You never know. If I ever find an original David Mann for sale, I'm gonna buy one. Or uh, there's a newer painter that's real popular. David Uhl, I think is his name, or something Uhl, UHL. So yeah, I've got a little bit. I've got other art that I've got a Stevie Ray Vaughan deal that my wife had me made. Someone made it out of record pieces of record vinyl, and looked pretty good. But y'all, I think y'all have seen that. But Indian Larry built a motorcycle frame from links to chain. Yeah, he built some cool stuff, and he's probably is the most respected motorcycle custom motorcycle builder out there. I mean, he just did a style that was simple, a simple style with a ton of little intricate detail, a ton of detail. Simple style, ton of detail. And he was super creative. But I don't, I'm not sure how he passed, but I think he passed doing a little stunt on the road on his motorcycle. He liked to stand on the seat, standing up, you know. But I could be wrong about that too. I seen it somewhere and I didn't go out and go and looking for it and confirm it. So could be wrong. So this week, like I said, I've got like 3 more shorts coming out. Okay, I wasn't sure, Lisa. I've got 3 more shorts that are already done, and they're scheduled for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I got a short on this, and I think it looks pretty good. I've spent a lot of time working on my shorts, and some of them are better than others. I was trying some easy stuff for my shorts, so you can use Opus something to cut your long form videos into shorts. And there's another program you can use, but it just doesn't do a good job. It doesn't cut it right. And I have used some where I had to take 2 of them, cut them up, piece them together, and make it something someone would want to watch. And I still, half the time, I pitch them to the side. What I've started doing, I've started taking my old videos, re-uploading them into my program, and looking for them, chopping them up, and looking for those little pieces that I can put a video together with. I did 2 on the little Quick Connect. Got one come out today, one to come out day after tomorrow. I don't like them a whole lot, but I spent so much time on them that they were good enough. I felt to go ahead and publish. But the numbers are telling me they may not have been. But then again, I guess maybe it was better than not doing anything, not putting anything out. But I'll work on some more again tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow I'll have my process down a little more and it'll be a little faster, because once you start doing something like that and you get your process down, you figure stuff out and are able to move a little faster. Yeah, Rob, it's always fun until it isn't. There's that meme going around that if I die on my motorcycle, just know I was happy, or I went out with a smile on my face. chances are that won't be the case. Chances are you'll go out with poop in your pants and, you know, uh, you know, and people hearing you scream as you know, as you're going toward whatever you're going to hit, because it's going to be painful and it's probably not going to be instantaneous, not instantaneous enough. So I'd rather not. I'd rather go out. If I had to go out, there's one way I'd rather go out, and it's as a very old man. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there because it's. I got to keep it PG. But suffice it to say, it's a heart attack doing something recreational, extremely recreational. Y'all get it then. Chasing my booze with coffee. I think that's about it. I about run my course. Um, I appreciate y'all coming in here. I hope y'all have a great night. I hope you have a great week. Be blessed. I'll be here again next whatever it is, Sunday. So hey, y'all take care. Seriously, I appreciate it. Everyone that's in here, y'all support me, and I really appreciate it. Yeah, and y'all are always in here, and it means a lot to me. So thank you. Y'all take care. Have a great week. Have a great night, and I'll see y'all again next Sunday. Where we got that in stream.